Then whenever we enter the tree, you'll see that this is slightly different from the ready, because the player is actually going to create this object. It's going to become ready. We're going to manipulate it, then it's going to enter the scene. So what we're going to do is say label.text is equal to character, right? And I think that might be enough to get the missile to display its letter. Let's have a look. Whoops, something happened. Invalid set index letter. Oh, we called it character. Huh. Okay. Let's try and rebuild that. What? Character. Oh yeah, and we need to set that to letter as well. Okay, so if I fire that, still didn't work. Invalid set index text on base nil. Okay. So, I mean, I can, maybe we don't need a reference to this. Can we just do that? Oh, I think, oh, hold on. Yeah, I know why. I think I'm getting mixed up with how these ready functions work. So I think you enter tree before you are ready. I think ready is like the second callback once all the children are initialized, if I remember rightly. Cool, so that sends a D missile. And now we can fire Ds at people. Don't do that in public. But that is useful, but now we need to just pop the D off our tail. Or maybe we could, before we do that, look at implementing our cooldown timer, perhaps. Yeah, okay, let's do that first. So I'm going to open up the player and I guess the ship scene. And I'm going to add, no, actually, I think it's better on the player. Is it? The player's doing the shooting. Sure. Okay, so what we're going to do here is add a child node, and that is just going to be a timer and our wait time. It is a one-shot timer. 1 second I think is not enough. It's not quick enough. Half a second I think is probably alright. And what we'll call this is shooting timer. And then let's go up to our player and set a variable at the class level can shoot equals true. And then when we do shoot, let's put this here, can shoot. In fact, let's put it even further up, equals false. And then here we can say if not can shoot, early return, right? In fact, I wonder if we even need that. I think we can get around it by being a bit tricky. So let's say on ready, var. The shooting timer is going to be equal to $ shooting timer, right? And what we do is we start the timer immediately. So we should say shooting timer dot start, right? But if shooting timer dot time left, and we do not need brackets in Godot, is if time left is not equal to 0, then return early, right? Otherwise, we start the timer and it begins counting down. Okay. I reckon I'd place 20% chance on this working. Okay, well, we were able to shoot once. We weren't able to shoot twice in quick succession. Nice. So one thing that I think we want to do is we want to take the player's initial velocity, I guess. We want to take the player's velocity, but only in the direction that they're facing. I can't remember what that's even called. What would I search for? So, Okay, let's have a look at the Vector2 library. I guess that's where the clues are going to lie. So what I'm doing now is I kind of just want to add... Oh, thanks, Ivan Diaz, for the follow. Appreciated. How's your day going? Okay. So, look, right. Okay, let's say Godot velocity in one direction. That might... So we can normalize the velocity. I could look at, I suppose. Aspect. I mean, we could be quite naive and just add the player's velocity length to the impulse. Yeah, screw it. I'll work out the maths behind that later. Okay, so what we're going to do is missile letter, and let's say missile dot impulse addition equals ship dot velocity. Yeah, just ship dot velocity, right? In fact, yeah, of course, we just... What am I... I'm trying to convert two velocities, and just like, you don't have to do any conversion, you just add them together. Idiot. Okay, cool. So, in fact, I wonder if we want to do that after the fact. Or maybe even treat that like a... I'm just thinking whether that should be more of a method on the missile instead of screwing around with its properties from the outside. Probably better architecturally to do it like that. Let me check the docs and just see Godot instance. Let's bring that one up there as well. Anything with a solved in the title is usually worth looking at. Okay, so what are they doing here? Yeah, okay. Just ready. And I guess this person's going to say the same thing. Init. Alright, sweet. So that init was essentially what I was going to do anyway, so it's good to see that others have the same idea. So let's do a func init, and we're going to take a letter and a ship, maybe a shooter, right? And here we can now say this, and this initial impulse so bar force, and then let's say the impulse is going to be equal to this thing here, right? And this can be the impulse. Oh, hold on. Okay, I think I know. Okay, well, I'm going to do this slightly differently. Okay, so we're going to say like the shooting impulse, right, is going to be equal to that rotated over its current rotation, right? So what I'm imagining is when you shoot, there's two impulses that we're essentially going to add together. We have the impulse of the bullet ignition, right? That impact force, which is a purely straight ahead. Hello, samurai on duty. I didn't realize I had employed you, but it's glad to have you here, keeping things under control. Okay, so the bullet force is going perfectly in the direction of the bullet, and then we have an additional impulse, which is going to be going in the direction of the player. So they're not necessarily going to be in the same directions. So for instance,